Bushy.
Good morning, Paul.
Beautiful downtown Merimbula. Now I have to ask, did you get my list of demands?
Bearing in mind that it is the middle of winter, I think I've got them all. So the fishing is to be no more than 500 metres from the boat ramp.
That's correct.
Boat ramp is to be no more than 500 metres from the accommodation.
That's correct.
We need a lot of fish that pull quite hard and look dramatic.
Correct.
And there has to be cappuccino for lunch.
The most important one. Look, and if we get off the water by sort of 2, that'd be nice too. I've got things to do, mate.
Too easy.
You're a talented man. I'm sure you can help. Now, Bushy, that feels like nearly 500 metres. We here yet?
Yes, we've got about 48 metres to go.
Sold. I'm liking these long trips.
In fact, we're here.
Yay! So, Bushy, I made sure you organised coffees and everything else, but I forgot to ask, what are we actually fishing for?
Well, we're trying to catch silver trevally. That's our target species. We're drifting down a channel here. You can see oyster leases probably behind me. And the channel's running through here. The tide's running out at the moment, which is all good. And we're throwing some flash prawn plastics, little squidgies, down with the current, about a 1.5 gram head. And when the little plastic gets down on top of the weeds, we give it a couple of flicks so it looks like a little shrimp or a prawn coming off the weed. And hopefully a trevally going to come and eat it. Well, that's the plan, Paul.
Gee, you makes my job easy. You didn't even see my lips move. Well, you might not have seen my lips move, Bushy, but you saw my drag move.
Whew.
How cool's that?
It's good fun.
I can't believe it was just the littlest tap and I thought maybe a bit of weed, lifted the rod and this thing's got some stink.
They're good fun, and you'll find that they hit that little plastic, it's just a tiny little flick on the line, and you've just got to strike and they'll have it.
Now it's called a flash prawn. It's one of your favourite squidgy flick baits, I take it?
I do like it. I mean, there's a lot of colours that work in those flick baits, but over these weedy areas, that sort of prawny looking colour's pretty damn good, as you've just found out. We've been, what, 5 minutes, I suppose?
Yeah, it's been 5 minutes. Look, in the schedule it said 4.
Okay.
It's a little weak.
You've got to get it in yet.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I have to say, I can understand why you called it a prawn because it looks that prawny colour. And it wasn't until I started retrieving it that I see why you called it a flash prawn. How's that flash it gives just when it rolls on the surface?
They really do like that. I mean, they're only smallish fish, but our gear's quite light, and they pull hard, these little silver trevally.
They do pull hard. In fact, silver trevally are one of the fish, Bushy, that has made me come unstuck many times in the Lord Howe Lagoon. They are tough as. And obviously they're more prolific and there's more of them in winter, Bushy?
They're good all year actually here.
Yeah?
You catch them all year in this channel.
There he is.
But it's pretty good. It's not the largest silver trevally in the world. Hopefully we might get larger ones, but look, great little fish, aren't they?
They're quite unique. Under the water he looked a bit lubric or zebra fishy.
Yes. Probably get that hook out of him with that little little lure.
Massive pectoral fins, and you can see why he ate that. Look at that little prawn shape. And I've got to say, silver trevally Merimbula style, the plan is working beautifully, and people who come to Merimbula on holidays, and this is a huge holiday destination, they'd be loving catching these, wouldn't they? Well,
it's a lot of fun, and it's something that's pretty easy to do too.
And Bushy, you reckon there's some bigger ones about?
Well, let's hope so, but normally, yes.
Sensational. I've got to say, I love silver trevally. Aren't they cool? We'll let you go, mate. There you go. And away the trevally goes. It's all working just beautifully.
I'm not liking this segment too much at the moment because Captain Paul is kicking my butt big time.
Well, Bushy, I have to say, if I was ever going to be outfished by anyone, I would want to be outfished by you. Oh. But in saying that, if I was ever going to outfish someone, I'd like to outfish you because at the moment you haven't caught a fish. So I think as soon as I get this one in, we're going to put the bait back in the trailer and we're going to call this quits because it'll be the only way I ever beat him.
Yes, well, it is good when you get a TV crew out and we catch fish, but I'm starting to lose interest. Oh, I might see if I can knock this fish off the net. This is a really nice bream.
Look at that.
Yellowfin bream. Well done, Paul.
That is nice. And the bream come through and eat these flick baits?
Oh, they love them.
They love them?
Yeah. And we're only fishing in about probably, what, a metre of water here.
Oh, if that.
Over the weeds. He's a nice fish, Paul.
He's a nice fish. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That is a nice fish.
Oh, if I could get hold of it. I'll see if I can drop that in the water before we get into glory for you.
What a fish. You know, Bushy, I have to say it is an honour to have caught a trevally and have you not caught one, but to catch a bream.
I'm rapidly getting sick of holding Paul's fish already.
Don't worry, Bushy, it won't last long, but can I say, whoop,
You can say you're really clumsy handling fish. You'll be good at this one day, Paul.
Oh, one day I'm going to hold fish, look at that. And that is a yellowfin bream?
That's a yellowfin bream.
Well, that is just awesome, and that's a bit of a bonus, obviously.
Well, we do normally have a bit of a lucky dip here. We are targeting trevally, but quite often other species will get in on the act. We may catch a few other different things before we're finished.
Well, bream and trevally, crack a start, and let me just say, I'm very excited.
Yes, this has got to improve.
Judging by the fluttering of the caudal fin, I'd say there's a stiff zephyr blowing.
Yeah, so a bit of breeze is good for this actually. You can cast a long way from the boat and ruffles the water up a bit, so it's actually good.
Now, I'm scared to ask this question, but can I have him for dinner?
No, put him back in the water. He's a lovely little fish.
How do I know you're going to say that? Don't worry, Mr. Bream. I didn't want to eat you anyway. Look at this fish swim away in this crystal clear water. There you go, dude. Look at that. Away he goes. And I reckon these fish are here because there's plenty of weed, and weed is the fish's friend. Provides a home and also gives them a place to have some tucker, doesn't it, Bushy?
There's plenty of stuff in there to eat.
Now, speaking of eating and tucker, I haven't got a watch on, but I'm feeling pretty hungry. It must be near lunchtime.
Could get the cappuccino on the water, you think?
Oh, I can smell it soon. I can smell it.
Now, a bit of this squidgy flick baiting, it's quite an easy thing to do. All we are doing is just casting with the wind, throw it as far as you can down the channel. When it hits the water, click your bail arm over, let it go down maybe metre, metre and a half, and then a couple of little flicks with the rod tip. That's why we call them a flick bait, so they dart in the water. So a couple of flicks, just pause it, and every now and again a fish is going to grab it, and it's just a matter of hang on and wind in. Too easy.
And what is a bream bite like on a flick bait? Even though I caught one, what does it actually bite like?
A little bit different. Trevally, yep.
Like that?
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Has he got you in the weed, has he?
I think he might have. He's out.
Good
They
man.
pull hard, these things. Not that I know what it is yet.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
A fish that's putting a serious bend in your fishing rod, Bushy. Does that help?
I'd say it's a trevally, but you just don't know here. It's a bit of a lucky dip.
I love the fact that these fish actually take line, put a massive bend in the rod, and get you so excited. And that was another gut feel, wasn't it? We were just motoring down the channel very slowly, and your words were, let's just stop here because some live here.
Sometimes they live here. They do at the moment.
I might get to the net. He's beautiful.
Oh, he's not a big one, but he's pulled hard though. They're amazing little critters.
Whoops,
He's only a baby.
Oops, oh, Bushy, hang on. Watch this for a net job.
Perfect.
Ah.
Oh, little tiny one, but still, I'm on the board.
But seriously, you say a tiny one, right? That's the sort of fish that anyone who come here would just love to catch.
And I love to catch it.
And you love to catch, and so do I. And trevally, pound for pound, they're right up there. Because I love my King George whiting fishing, and they pull hard. But you hook a trevally that big, when you're whiting fishing, you think you've hooked a kilo whiting. They know how to swim, don't they?
They do know how to swim. Oh, well, that's a little bonus for us. I'll see if we can, whoa, I'm going to throw him back in and
Yes, next.
nowhere near as big as yours.
Wow,
probably.
you get that on the big jaws. Next time, Bushy, I'd like a good sized big one.
Okay. Oh, I think we found a couple.
I think you might have. And you were saying you will get them in patches?
Yeah, definitely. They must just come along in a bit of a school and find a section of water that they like, because that was 2 and 2 casts.
That is pretty cool.
I just can't believe how hard they go for little fish.
Yeah, mate, they are gold. I'm going to get this out of the way. And when I say they are gold, they are actually gold.
They are a bit
The silver
gold.
trevally we get home are very white and silvery.
Can't you organise your crew a bit better so we can catch fish and have the sun in
I
the
know.
right place? And
It's tough, mate. It's
we're around in
tough.
circles here. Anyway, make life as hard as we can for everybody.
Yeah, do these fish change colour throughout the year?
Gee, I don't know about that. I think they look pretty much. This one's not as goldy, is he? He's
No,
a smaller
he's actually a bit more silvery. Look at that.
one. Yeah.
That was right on cue that he changed colour just as we were discussing it.
I think as they get a bit bigger, they tend to get a little bit more golden. He's more your silver Silver trevally.
Now, can I tell you an interesting fact about silver trevally?
You can.
Silver trevally, even though we're going to let him go, they are one of the greatest snapper and gummy shark baits you'll ever come across.
Have to save him.
Oh!
He's lucky then.
Lucky, lucky boy. Oh, yep, got him, Bushy.
Oh, well done.
I tell you what, there is a bit of a run of these things.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a roll. What do you got?
Well, I don't know. It's doing well by the.
Yeah.
I think I might have a trevally.
So it's a trevor.
I think we've got a school of fish all about the same size here. He's similar. I don't think I need the net, Bushy. I'll just lift him over. And that is a similar size fish to the ones Bushy has caught. That's interesting because fish quite often school in like-sized schools. So at the moment we're coming across all these fish that are probably about half a pound. And look at that. He's actually like the poor old seagull you see at the zoo or the beach sometimes. He's only got one leg. Well, half a caudal fin. It's the same thing if you're a fish. Mate, you're going back and you fought very, very well, considering that you're a little bit, well, handicapped, I think the word might be. Oh, Bushy, oh!
Well, Paul's having a bit of a problem there. I've got one of my own. Something's grabbed the hold of this little flick bait. I suppose it'll be, yes, another trevally. We've certainly found a little patch of them. Not big ones, but they're making up for it by at least giving us a bit of joy. Not a big fish. Oh, goodness me. Look where that flick bait is.
Oh.
Don't tell me they don't like that plastic.
Do you think he's eating it, mate?
Yeah, he's pretty much eating it. Oh, it's coming out.
This guy is actually going.
Yes, they call them blurters in New South Wales, and that's one of the reasons they make that noise. But it is interesting. Some people think when you hook a plastic with the hook right up one end of it at the front that you're not going to hook fish. Well, you can see what happens there. That's a little fish, and it was right down his neck. Back in?
Yes, absolutely. Dawn, well done, mate. Good work.
A small one, Paul, but oh, we've got a different thing here.
Ooh.
Something you don't see every day.
Ooh.
It's going to test you out.
Ah. Now that is a pretty fish, and I'm going to say that is called a grass whiting.
And you'd be right. Yep, that's a grass whiting.
And I'm going to say it's a male grass whiting.
Well, you'd be in front of me because I don't know too much about male or female.
Well, no, I
whiting.
just made that up. No,
It was a good effort though.
no, it is actually a grass whiting. It's the male of the species, and I think it's also part of the wrasse family. We actually get these in Western Port. When you fillet them, they're a little bit darker in the skin colour, but they do taste like a whiting, and they're one of the prettiest fish you're going to see. Well, even though they're pretty tasty, Bush, I think it's his lucky day, eh?
It could well be, but he's woofed that little flick bait down. You wouldn't think a critter like that would bother eating a piece of plastic. But
And he sucked it all the way in.
he did.
Off you go, dude. Dawn.
Well done, Paul. Oh, he's got a bit of kick.
Yeah, it's got a bit of go. Very nice, and that was amazing. I cast that a long way, and the wind has just dropped out. And Bushy said, oh no, because they are easy to catch when it's windy, aren't they?
Much easier. But Paul is so skillful.
Well, when you're as talented as myself, which is very, very not talented, and this fish actually followed it all the way back to the boat, and it's not a trevally, I don't think, Bushy, although I've just taken the spot. No, it is
A whiting.
Oh, how's the size of it? How's the size of it?
Do you want me to net that for you?
Yes,
Paul?
please. It's a monster. Look at that. Oh, come to Papa. Come to Papa.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby. That is the biggest sand whiting I've ever caught.
Is that right?
Absolutely. We don't get sand whiting where I come from. We get King George whiting. And I reckon these are the poorer cousin because our King George whiting are just amazing. But Bushy, on a plastic too. Talk about plastic fantastic. That is a beast. How's the head on that too? So it's a sand whiting and yellowfin whiting, same thing?
Yep, same thing.
Just look at that, and the shoulders on it too. That's a good fish. Now it may be the biggest that I've caught, but is that a good one? Or
That's a good one. We do actually get them bigger, but that is a good one. But this is a place where you do get quite big whiting here.
I'm so impressed. Oh, what a mixed bag. Oh, he's a bit slippery. It's a mixed bag. Now, Bushy, we're fishing for trevally, aren't we?
Well, they are the target species, but as I said, it's a bit of a lucky dip. You just throw these plastics around. The old flick bait, in the packet it doesn't look much, but in the water it catches everything.
Well, talk about not looking much. There it is, just hanging out of his gob. It don't look much. When you see a whiting like this hanging off the end of it, it looks pretty special to me. Now I've got to say, this is a fairly busy airport. Look at this plane coming in here. Right over the top of Merimbula. How many flights a day, mate?
I get about 3 to Sydney, 3 to Melbourne.
Oh, Oh, just dip the wings, say g'day. Now, Bushy, this is another monster trevally.
No, it's not a monster.
That's a nice fish.
Tell you what, still fun.
How thick are these fish in this inlet?
It's a lot here.
It is unbelievable.
Woo! See you later, mate.
And how big are the pectoral fins on a silver trevally? When they come up, it's like they actually look a bit like that fixed-winged aircraft we just saw fly over. Bushy, I've got a good feeling. I'm warm, caught plenty of fish. What else can you possibly do to make my day?
Well, how would you like a beautiful Italian cappuccino served by an imported Italian waiter? Right now, right here.
I'd be impressed.
Well, here he comes.
Hey!
Don't say the waterfront in Merimbula hasn't got good service.
I'm loving this.
Here we go, Bushy. Some coffee for you.
Thank you, Lenny.
Pleasure.
Oh, look at that. I'll grab this one.
You are a legend.
Thank you.
How good is this?
Waterfront in Merimbula, best coffee in town, and you certainly got the best service in town.
Well, just by chance, I had breakfast there yesterday and it was 11 out of 10. And I'll be coming back tomorrow morning to say thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Excellent.
I leave this one with you.
Good man.
Okay.
Ciao. Cheers. Now, Bushy, I think I need you to lift your game, mate, because things are going really, really bad. Mate, that is good coffee.
Well, I guess that's fishing again for us.
Absolutely. Let's get back into it. Man, that's good.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
It's pretty good. It's not a bad one either, is it?
It's a good sized big one. How funny is that? We've had the coffee and we've come out to catch a few more fish because we're just having so much fun. And I said to Bushy, I might just throw it over the weed. And he said, sometimes that works, didn't you?
Sometimes that's a good sign. Oh!
I did not actually get a wind in, mate.
Oops, we're just about to crash into a large, expensive boat. Don't worry.
Just a special message from my friends there at Club Marine. We might need some help.
Stop having fun. We're supposed to be making television.
You're right. We're supposed to be working hard, not having any fun at all. And I got to say, Bushy, I think I've probably made about 200 episodes of fishing television. And today's about as much fun as I've had because we're just having a good time. We're doing what we probably love doing most, just catching fish, enjoying a bit of good company, great coffee.
Where was the good company? Who was on board?
No, my cameraman, he's a lovely man, aren't you, Andrew? I love when a plan comes together. Now, what have we got? Ooh, it is a trevally. I don't know if he's much bigger. Is he a good size? Oh, I think I might
he's a little one hooked through the middle.
Oh,
one of the oldest tricks in television.
I've chook hooked him now, he's come up. Oh, he's all right.
Oh. I think he's only in the mouth, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the mouth. It was wrapped around his fin. Now, if we could put this in there, that would be wonderful. And he's a nice fish, mate. He's a nice fish. Look at that. Beautiful fish. And I have to say, I reckon they fight even better when you've got a warm jumper on and a nice coffee under your belt. How is that glistening in the sunshine, Bushy?
That's poetry, Paul.
In motion. Well, there's still plenty of fish around.
Just can't get that big one.
It's all good. Look, it's
not.
not.
That's not a trevally.
It's not a trevally.
No.
I think that might be species number lots today.
It's been a few.
That is
tailor.
cool. It is a little tailor. A jumping tailor. Mate, bring him this way. He hasn't bitten us off so far, so probably won't happen. That would explain why I was losing the back end of all those flick baits before.
A few bite-offs, he's nearly gone through that one too.
Yeah, he has too. Now, would Mr. Taylor be your best friend?
Yes, we are having the Shimano Taylor breeding program. Smaller tailor with bigger teeth, that's what we're after.
And are you going to let me eat this one, or we're definitely putting this back?
No, you don't want to eat that. I'll look after you, mate.
I was only going to eat it so you sell less plastics.
No, we need these in the water. Always let your tailor go.
And barracuda for that matter. And pufferfish, they're great as well.
But then again, soft plastics, if you do get a few bitten off, so what? We wouldn't have gone through a packet of plastics today.
And the good thing was they were yours. It doesn't bother at all. I've got to say...
Good thing is they were John Dunphy's.
That's exactly right. Merimbula, middle of winter, This is a great fishing session, isn't it?
Well, look, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we've caught a fair few fish throughout the world, but when you can come out here and you're literally 500 metres from Coffee, the boat ramp, and where you're staying, and you can still have a good fun, it's not bad, is it?
Well, I've had good fun. I've got to say, if you come to this part of the world on your holidays, do what we're doing. There's plenty of piers that got access to the water we've been fishing. Get some plastics, drift along. You don't need an expensive boat, and you'll have fun like we have. This has been very cool. Thank you, Mr. Bush.
Cool you didn't see Ronnie at Tackle World, do you think?
He's an absolute legend. Ronnie, you're the man.